Hello friends and fellow gamers, MKxJUMP here, and today we're going to check out this week's event for Idle Heroes. We have a Prophet Orb event that gives some pretty interesting rewards, and finally there's a way for free-to-play players to get themselves an artifact by using their Prophet Orbs. But is it worth it? And what things should you consider before going ahead and completing this event? So that's what we're going to talk about today. As well, there's some really cool stuff for spenders, so we'll talk about that too. But before we go ahead and take a look at those things, let me remind you about Patreon. Patreon is a way you can support my channel whilst getting things in return for yourself, such as account reviews on Tuesday. If you're interested in getting your account reviewed and you want to know one quick way to get that done, click that link up there and go ahead and check out ways you can back me on Patreon. A shout out to our pledges this week. We have Luna, we've got Garrett Marshall, we've got Heaven's Wrath, Michael Lee, Blogger's Morgue, we have Rokas Salazinkas, and Mason Wilbur. So thank you to everyone that decided to back me this week. Thank you so much for your support, and don't forget to join us on Tuesdays to get yourselves an account review. Anyway, folks, let's go check out this week's event for Idle Heroes. So, as always, every day for logging in during this Prophet Orb event, we're going to get ourselves 5 sweet lollipops, which we can use in the Fantasy Factory, and we'll get a Prophet Orb as well, which we can use to make progress in the Prophet Orb event. So, is all of that worth it? Well, first things first you need to know about is Imp's Adventure has actually been extended by 1 week, and that's because of the Maple Leaf Ballad, which when I reviewed it last week, didn't do this, but I'm glad they have done it now, because this is giving dice and delicate picnic baskets as rewards. So make sure to grab your dice and grab your baskets just to see how far you can get with this. And I know a lot of people, as free-to-play players, did manage to get themselves the 9-star puppet selection chest from Imp's Adventure, which is pretty cool. So do not miss out on that opportunity. So yeah, go ahead, cash in your picnic stuff, claim your Maple Leaf Ballad rewards, and keep on going through the Imp's Adventure until you've pretty much maxed it out. So good luck, folks. It should be pretty easy. Value packages this week are very standard. We get gems, we get Prophet Orbs, and of course we get the lollipops for Fantasy Factory. That's very standard. Do bear in mind that the top package is typically the best value, as the others don't scale up as well. As you can see, 10 bucks for 3 sweet lollipops is just not as good as 100 bucks for 35. So do bear in mind that the ratios are a little different with these lollipops. You can also buy them for story gems as well if you have some lying around, so that might be something you want to consider. As well, spending is really nice this week because we have a Moonlight gift pack. So regardless of where it goes, whether it's monthly cards, story gems, or value packages this week, if you go and spend up to 100 bucks, you'll get all the rewards you see here. So for the lower stages, there's Prophet Orbs and some more sweet lollipops. You can get yourself contract story gems and a skin luxury chest. You can get yourself some 6-star orange equipment and an artifact chest, which gets an artifact which, once destroyed, will get you 3,600 almost workshop essence. So that's pretty nice. You've got, for 50 bucks, some gems, you get some Prophet Orbs, and of course a Glory Epic chest, which is good. On top of that, if you get even higher, there's more gems and some Cause of Transcendence, so that's really, really good. And then to make it even better, 100 glorious relics are thrown in with 30 sweet lollipops, 500 stellar shards, you get the smash in the lollipop privilege, and you get double honey stars from the Fantasy Factory as well. And those honey stars will compound into bonus rewards as well if you go ahead and look at the very end, because there's a deluxe collection which basically rewards you for every 3 honey stars and each Prophet Orb that you use this week. So let's go ahead and check this out. So 100 points is going to get you 10 Prophet Orbs. If you go further, that's luxury skin chest for 200, and they're finally giving chests again, which is really good. Eminent Hero Selection chest back for 300 points. For 400, you'll get a 9-star light puppet. For 500, you'll get a light and dark chest. And if you get to 600, you can get yourself a mysterious artifact selection chest. Now, typically, if you do not hit the jigsaw in the Fantasy Factory, you can expect to get around 450 honey stars. That's if you're looking to make good progress and get yourself the 9-star light puppet by optimizing how many honey stars you get. And that assumes you also do Fantasy Factory like an intelligent person rather than being like a mug. So a quick comment on this, you want to go ahead and put these in the most efficient places that you can to maximize your rewards. So that involves looking for good spots where they fit in logically rather than just trying to squeeze them anywhere and then getting screwed. So it's good to go from the edges inwards like this, for example. So that's what I'm going to be doing this week. Now, I'm not the best at this, I will admit, but I like to think I'm better than some, but by no means am I the best in the world. So yeah, there are different strategies for this, but typically it's good to work your way in and try and give yourself as many options as possible. When you limit your options, things become bad. But either way, If you go ahead and do that as well as you can, you should get 450 points, which will give you 150 points in this. So to get to the 600, which is needed for the artifact, if you don't hit that jigsaw stage, you are going to need to use 450 Prophet Orbs, which is a lot of Prophet Orbs. But I know there are tons of free-to-play and budget players who've been saving their Prophet Orbs for months and months and months, since Easter, and have been finally waiting for an event like this to get themselves an artifact. So yeah, that's pretty good for you guys. If you're a newer player, maybe you'll just have to skip this event. That's fine, right? That's okay. You can skip events if they don't give you all the rewards you want, or you haven't got enough Prophet Orbs to get the good rewards. That's fine. So just move on, wait for another event like this, and that's totally okay. If you do have the jigsaw puzzle in the Fantasy Factory, that's going to get you an additional probably 200, maybe more honey stars. So you actually will only need to use around 360 Prophet Orbs then, and that makes it even better to get to this stage. As well, by spending $100 and getting the Moonlight gift rewards, you double your honey stars, so you'll get even more points from this. So if you're a spender, you can expect to get even further, and 900 is the stage that really excites me, as this is giving you Essence Sublimation. That's really good. And then whales can get super excited because you get Spiritual Essence for 1,200, and as it keeps on going, every 150 then onwards gives you an opportunity to get either Essence Sublimation, Spiritual Essence, or a Core of Origin Shard chest. So this just gets pretty gnarly. You can see it's the same thing every single stage. So if a whale really did want to go all out, they could pick up a ton of Spiritual Essence and a ton of Essence Sublimation chests. So maybe it's worth adding up to see whether that's actually worth doing if you're a spender. Obviously, it has to be within your own personal price point and depends on how many Prophet Orbs you've got and how many loops you want to do in the Fantasy Factory. Of course, zooming through Fantasy Factory does get you some crazy rewards. You can grab Aura Stars, which of course can be used in future Fantasy Factories or help you now. You've got the Resonance Construction Chest, which gets you Master's Toolboxes. You've got all this food. There's flags, there's artifacts, and of course there is this, which gives you a ton of resources, although you can only choose one. But you do get a lot of stuff in this, so maybe it's worth considering. It's entirely up to you, though, if you're a spender and that's what you want. So I'm not going to tell you what to get, but there are some cool things here to consider if you were planning on spending big money. But at the same time, next week, if you haven't seen, is Thanksgiving. After that, we've got Black Friday, again at Christmas. That's going to be another big event, so do bear in mind that there's a lot of big events that are going to drain your wallets. So if your spending is capped by the amount of money in your bank account, you may want to be mindful that this might not be the event to go for, and there could be bigger ones coming later on. So in that sense, it could be wallet bait, but yeah, it's Prophet Orb bait too, really, because 450 Prophet Orbs for free-to-play player is quite a lot to use. But if you've got them saved up, that's totally fine. And we don't really get events like this that give us bonus rewards for Prophet Orbs, so do bear that in mind if you're a free-to-play player and you're a bit hesitant. And spenders, do bear in mind, it seems like they're giving these a lot. So if a Prophet Orb event isn't the event you want to go after, then you don't necessarily have to. Now, that said, some people might think, what's a good thing to spend your $100 on? Well, Starry Gems could be a good option because as well, we've got a Soul Awakening Gala. So every time you awaken a hero, you're going to get points depending on what grade that hero gets, and progressively that's going to move you along, getting you different chests, and then finally, of course, a mysterious artifact, and then if you want some Spiritual Essence and an Essence Sublimation chest, you have to pick between the two. So yeah, pretty good stuff, actually, if you go ahead and do all that, because not only are you getting tons of rewards from your Honey Stars, you're getting tons of rewards from Fantasy Factory, you get to do Prophet Orbs, and you got to do a Soul Awakening Gala. So there's a lot to enjoy this week. Not to mention, Heroic Miracle is here. That needs you to do 3 Darks, 3 Lights, and 5 in every other faction. That's going to get you more Sweet Lollipops. It's going to get you armor. It gets you some Prophet Orbs and Scrolls as well. Not to mention a copy of EOS is thrown in there too. And of course we have a Soul Contract, which lets you use 1 Shadow, 1 Abyss, 1 Fortress, and 1 Forest hero if they're 6-star. Lets you put them in, and you get yourself, easy peasy, lemon squeezy, a bunch of rewards. That's going to get you 100 Contract Starry Gems, which can either be used to awaken someone or buy a package. My recommendation for budget players is to use these to awaken heroes in a Soul Awakening Gala when you have enough Contract Starry Gems to go ahead and max out a Soul Awakening Gala so that you can get yourself some Essence Sublimation. That's really, really important for free-to-play players to just be saving their Contract Starry Gems to do that, because in my opinion, that is the most valuable thing you can use Contract Starry Gems for, outside of just going ahead and buying value packages to let you get rewards in other ways. So you could, in theory, use this to buy value packages to complete events, but of course a lot of events have stuff hidden behind ridiculous paywalls that maybe your Contract Starry Gems aren't going to quite push you far enough, but it's just something to consider. And yeah, that's it for this week. The other thing, of course, is it's a profit summon event, but this is kind of standard as always. You get different prizes depending on how far you go. You are, of course, going to get a Dark Spirit, a Divine Spirit, and then eventually you'll get yourself a Queen and a Mockman. There's also bonus rewards in here too, so Soul Symbols, which are pretty helpful. There's a Core of Transcendence and Glorious Relics too. So yeah, this is quite a good Prophet Orb event. Getting Mockman as the top reward is nice, as he is probably the most desirable of the Transcendence heroes because he's the most valuable in the auction house. So those of you looking to do Awakenings, awakening any copy of Mockman you get is often a good thing to do. Not to mention Light and Dark heroes will help you in the Heroic Miracle more than others. So yeah, this is a pretty solid event. We're getting some really cool stuff. There's lots of aspects to it, and there's potentially a way, as I said, for free-to-play players to get mysterious artifacts. So what do you need to bear in mind? Well, next week is Sky Labyrinth, Mysterious Chests, and Wishing Coins, as well as being Thanksgiving. It's very probable that you'll be able to use your wishing coins to get an artifact, and the bare minimum wishing coins you'll probably need is probably 1,280. That's a lot of wishing coins. Now, some of you might just have that many wishing coins saved up. The other place you can grab them, of course, is from the arena using your arena coins. Going ahead and cashing that in is fine, but the other thing that's going to be asking for arena coins to be used is Prophet Orbs. This week needs Prophet Orbs. Next week needs wishing coins, so be mindful that going ahead and buying a ton of Prophet Orbs from here might stop you from getting progress next week, or by saving for next week, you might stop yourself from completing this week. So those two things are things you need to weigh up. So my recommendation for free-to-play players who are going to be forced to buy orbs or coins, depending on which one they'll need for either this week or next week, do go ahead and make sure you wait right until the end of the event so that you can see the spoilers that DH Games put on their Twitter and on their Facebook page, which gives you clues as to what next week's Thanksgiving event is going to require for wishing coins. Once we have a better idea, then you'll be able to make a value judgment as to whether you should be using your arena coins to get wishing coins for next week's Thanksgiving event, or whether it would just be better for you to use Prophet Orbs. Because do bear in mind that next week is probably going to need you to spend a lot of gems as well in the Mysterious Chest. So if you haven't got a few thousand gems saved up, or should I say tens of thousands of gems saved up, you might not get the top rewards either. So just be mindful of that. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff to think about this week, some really fun stuff to enjoy, and all in all, I think it's a pretty great event. Next week looks like it's going to be pretty good too. So if you want to see more information about next week's event, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I review every event every Friday so that you guys know what to expect in the week ahead and hopefully don't make any mistakes. Good luck, everybody. Let me know if you're using Prophet Orbs in the comment section, and hopefully, finally, all your Prophet Orb saving will pay off. But of course, make sure you know just how many honey stars you're going to get before you go all in with your Prophet Orbs, because you might use some more than you need to. And be mindful, arena coins are needed next week as well as this week, so you have to have good amounts of wishing coins and Prophet Orbs for the 2 weeks that follow. Good luck, everybody. Have a fantastic week, and of course, happy idle.